We live, we up, we're up. Welcome back to Davesplay. Do remember to turn your clocks 1 hour. Don't forget. So we'll get an extra hour sleep tonight. It's been a spooky week in the markets. The market closed down one of its worst weeks since March. Heavy selling in the NASDAQ. We had Tesla down 5.5% on Friday. We had Apple. Apple closed down 5.6% on Friday. These are buying opportunities. Amazon closed down 5.45% on Friday. The Dow Jones closed down 0.59% at 26,502. The Dow staged a late afternoon rally, reversing most of its loss. However, the NASDAQ closed down 2.45% on Friday. They're sitting at below 11,000 right now. They're at 10,912. Interesting week ahead. Davesplay, AIRI, they closed up 28% at 132. I told you, watch for a retracement to 116. That would be a fair entry. The low of the day was 114. The high of the day for AIRI, 153, with a volume of 17 million on Friday. Their average volume is 349K. AIRI. Dave's bonus play EQ. EQ broke down. Most of the action exhausted in the pre. Stock closed up 6% at 635. EQ opened up at 714. High on the day, 750. Low of the day was 599. Volume was 17.6 million. This is EQ. And their average volume is 761K. EQ. Stocks kicking up in the AHR, LRN. LRN earnings exceed expectation. And on that, the stock is up 28% at 30.46. $30.46. LRN. Pay attention to ISIG. ISIG is up 24% in the after hours at $1.03. Let's see if it could stay above $1. ISIG.
It is better to place your stops at logical levels round. When prices approach that zone from above, it serves as support. When prices rally into it from below, it acts as resistance. A congestion area can reverse its role and serve as either support or resistance. The strength of every support or resistance zone depends on three factors: its length, its height, and the
Shout out to
volume
the
of
subscriber that
trades
got
taking place.
me some
You can
Magnum
visualize these
tonic
factors as
wine.
the length, the width, and the depth of a congestion zone.
Dave's choice.
The longer a support or resistance area, its length of time or the number of hits it took, the stronger it is. Support and resistance, like good wine, become better with age. A 2-week trading range provides only minimal support or resistance. A 2-month range gives people time to become used to it and creates intermediate support or resistance, while a 2-year range becomes accepted as a standard of value and offers major support or resistance. As support and resistance levels grow old, they gradually become weaker. Losers keep washing out of the markets, replaced by newcomers who do not have the same emotional commitment to old price levels. People who lost money only recently remember full well what happened to them. They are probably still in the market, feeling pain and regret, trying to get. People who made bad decisions several years ago are probably out of the markets, and their memories matter less. The strength of support and resistance increases each time that area is hit. When traders see that prices have reversed at a certain level, they tend to bet on a reversal the next time prices reach that level. The taller the support and resistance zone, the stronger it is. A tall congestion zone is like a tall fence around a property. A congestion zone whose height equals 1% of current market value, 4 points in the case of the S&P 500 at 400, provides only minor support or resistance. A congestion zone that is 3% tall provides intermediate support or resistance, and a congestion zone that is 7% tall or higher can grind down a major trend. The greater the volume of trading in a support and resistance zone, the stronger it is. High volume in a congestion area shows active involvement by traders, a sign of strong emotional commitment. Low volume shows that traders have little interest in transacting at that level, a sign of weak support or resistance. Trading rules. 1. Whenever the trend you are riding approaches support or resistance, tighten your protective stop. A protective stop is an order to sell below the market when you are long, or to cover shorts above the market when you are short. This stop protects you from getting badly hurt by an adverse market move. A trend reveals its health by how it acts when it hits support or resistance. If it is strong enough zone, it accelerates, and your tight stop is not touched. If a trend bounces away from support or resistance, it reveals its weakness. In that case, your tight stop salvages a good chunk of profits. 2. Support and resistance are more important on long-term charts than on short-term charts. Weekly charts are more important than dailies. A good trader keeps an eye on several time frames and defers to the longer one. If the weekly trend is sailing through a clear zone, the fact that the daily trend is hitting resistance is less important. When a weekly trend approaches support or resistance, you should be more inclined to act. 3. Support and resistance levels are useful for placing stop loss and protect profit orders. The bottom of a congestion area is the bottom line of support. If you buy and place your stop below that level, you give the uptrend plenty of room. More cautious traders buy after
Don't forget to turn back the hands of time
and place a stop in the middle of a congestion area. A true upside breakout should not be followed by a pullback into the range, just as a rocket is not supposed to sink back to its launching pad. Reverse this procedure in downtrends. Many traders avoid placing stops at round numbers. This superstition began with the off-the-cuff advice by Edwards and McGee to avoid placing stops at round numbers because everybody was them there. Now, if traders buy copper at 92, they place a stop at 89.75 rather than 90. When they sell a stock short at 76, they place a protective stop at 80.25 rather than 80. These days, there are fewer stops at round numbers than at fractional numbers.
Thanks for liking the
It's better to
video.
place stops at logical levels, round or not. Markets spend more time in trading ranges than they do in trends. Most breakouts from trading ranges are false breakouts. They suck in trend followers just before prices return into the trading range. A false breakout is the bane of amateurs, but professional traders love them. Professionals expect prices to fluctuate without going very far most of the time. They wait until an upside breakout stops reaching new highs or a downside breakout stops making new lows. Then they pounce. They fade the breakout, trade against it, and place a protective stop at the latest extreme point. It is a very tight stop, and their risk is low, while there is a big profit potential from a pullback into the congestion zone. The risk-reward ratio is so good that professionals can afford to be wrong half the time and still come out ahead of the game. The best time to buy an upside breakout on a daily chart is when your analysis of the weekly chart suggests that a new uptrend is developing. True breakouts are confirmed by heavy volume, while false breakouts tend to have light volume. True breakouts are confirmed when technical indicators reach new extreme highs or lows in the direction of the trend, while false breakouts are often marked by divergences between prices and indicators. Traders try to profit from changes in prices. Buy low and sell high, or sell short high and cover low. Even a quick look at a chart reveals that markets spend most of their time in trading ranges. They spend less time in trends. A trend exists when prices keep rising or falling over time. In an uptrend, each rally reaches a higher high than the preceding rally, and each decline stops at a higher level than the preceding decline. In a downtrend, each decline falls to a lower low than the preceding decline, and each rally stops at a lower level than the preceding rally. In a trading range, most rallies stop at about the same high, and declines peter out at about the same low. A trader needs to identify trends and trading ranges. It is easier to trade during trends. It is harder to make money when prices are flat unless you write options, which requires a special skill. Trading in trends and in trading ranges calls for different tactics. When you go long in an uptrend or sell short in a downtrend, you have to give that trend the benefit of the doubt and not be shaken out easily. It pays to buckle your seatbelt and hang on for as long as the trend continues. When you trade in a trading range, you have to be nimble and close out your position at the slightest sign of a reversal. Another difference in trading tactics between trends and trading ranges is the handling of strength and weakness. You have to follow strength during trends, buy in uptrends, and sell short in downtrends. When prices are in a trading range, you have to do the opposite. Buy weakness and sell strength. An uptrend emerges when bulls are stronger than bears and their buying forces prices up. If bears manage to push prices down, bulls return in force, break the decline, and force prices to a new high. Downtrends occur when bears are stronger and their selling pushes markets down. When a flurry of buying lifts prices, bears sell short into that rally, stop it, and send prices to new lows. When bulls and bears are equally strong or weak, prices stay in a trading range. When bulls manage to push prices up, bears sell short into that rally and prices fall. Bargain hunters step in and break the decline. Bears cover shorts, their buying fuels a minor rally, and the cycle repeats. A trading range is like a fight between two equally strong gangs. They push one another back and forth on a street corner, but neither can control the turf. A trend is like a fight where a stronger gang chases the weaker gang down the street. Every once in a while, the weaker gang stops and puts up a fight, but then is forced to turn and run again. Prices in trading ranges go nowhere, just as crowds spend most of their time in aimless milling. Markets spend more time in trading ranges than in trends because aimlessness is more common among people than purposeful action. When a crowd becomes agitated, it surges and creates a trend. Crowds do not stay excited for long.
Aziz in the building. Welcome, Aziz. Thanks for your support.
Identifying
Good
trends
morning
and
to
trading
you.
ranges is one of the tasks in technical analysis. It's easy to find them in the middle of a chart.
Congratulations on your monetization.
Trends and trading ranges clearly stand out on old charts. Experts show those charts at seminars and make it seem easy to.
Aziz, I'm doing better than good.
The trouble is, your broker does not allow you to trade in the middle of the chart. He says you must make your trading decisions at the hard right edge of the chart. The past is fixed and easy to analyze. The future is fluid and uncertain. By the time you identify a trend, a good chunk of it is gone.
How are you, Aziz?
Nobody rings a bell when a trend dissolves into a trading range. By the time you recognize that change, you will lose some money trying to trade as if the market was still trending. Many chart patterns and indicator signals contradict one another at the right edge of the chart.
Aziz, what time it is over there?
On probabilities in an atmosphere of uncertainty. Most people cannot accept uncertainty. They have a strong emotional need to be right. They hang on to losing positions, waiting for the market to turn and make them whole. Trying to be right in the market is very expensive. Professional traders.
Oh, you just finished working? Okay.
Fast. When the market deviates from your analysis, you have to cut losses without fuss or emotions.
We getting an extra hour sleep over here. We turning the clock.
You have to decide
the hands of the clock 1 hour backwards.
For a dip. If you buy fast, you get in gear with the trend, but your stops are likely to be farther away and you risk more.
4 a.m.
You will risk less, but will have four.
So you should be tired right about now.
Longs who want to add to their positions, shorts who want to get out even, traders who never bought, and traders who sold too early.
It's 10:17 p.m. at night here.
The waiting area for a pullback
New York City.
is very crowded. Markets are not known for their charity, and a deep pullback may well signal the beginning of a reversal. This reasoning also applies to downtrends. Waiting for pullbacks while a trend is gathering steam is an amateur's game. If the market is in a trading range and you are waiting for a breakout, you have to decide whether to buy in anticipation of a breakout, during a breakout, or on a pullback after a valid breakout. If you trade multiple positions, you can.
Aziz, my brother just launched a cooking channel.
Breakout and a third on a pullback. Whatever method you use, there is one money management rule that will keep you out of the riskiest trades. The distance from the entry point to the level of a protective stop should never be more than 2% of your account equity. No matter how attractive a trade is, pass it up if it requires a wider stop. Money management tactics are different in trends and trading ranges. It pays to put on a smaller position in a trend, but use a wider stop.
I'm going to send him over to your channel so he could get some tips, some cooking tips from you.
You may put on a bigger position in a trading range, but use a tighter stop. Finding good entry points is extremely important in trading ranges. You have to be very precise because the profit potential is so limited. A trend is more forgiving of a sloppy entry as long as you trade in the direction of the trend. Old traders chuckle.
Kurt's cuisine.
When you cannot tell whether
he made his first video today.
Trading range, remember that professionals give the benefit of the doubt to trading ranges. If you are not sure, stand aside.
Yes, I sure will. I'll share the link
because they can slide in and out of positions
on your channel.
Risk of being impaled on a trend. Since they pay low or no commissions and suffer little slippage, it is profitable for them to trade in gently fluctuating markets. Those
Welcome,
of us
Neville,
who
in the
trade
building.
over
Neville
more
in the
are better off
building.
trying to catch trends.
Thanks for
If you trade
tuning
less
in. Please
frequently
like
during
the
trends, your
live.
account suffers less from commissions.
I appreciate you.
Most traders ignore the fact that markets usually are both in a trend and in a trading.
Shout out to the
at
subscriber who
same
got me
time.
some
They pick
Jamaican
one
Magnum
time
wine.
frame, such as daily or hourly, and look for trades on daily charts. With their attention fixed on daily or hourly charts, trends from other time frames, such as weekly or 10-minute trends, keep sneaking up on them and wreaking havoc with their plans. Markets exist in several time frames simultaneously. They exist on a 10-minute chart, an hourly chart, a daily chart, a weekly chart, and any other chart. The market may look like a buy on a daily chart, but a
Neville, how did the
sell on a
market
weekly
treat
chart,
you
and
last
vice
week?
versa.
This week?
The signals in different time frames
a
of
rough
the
week
same
for me.
market often contradict one another. Which of them will you follow? When you are in doubt about a trend, step back and examine the charts at a time frame that is larger than the one you are trying to trade. This search for a greater perspective is one of the key principles.
I picked up some more
trading
Amazon,
system.
some more
A
Tesla,
losing trader often thinks he would be better
and
off
picked
if he
up some
had
more
a
Apple.
real-time quote machine on his desk. One of the universal fantasies of losers is that they would be winners if they could get their data faster and focused on a shorter time frame. But they lose money even faster.
Beat some
with a quote
juice and
system.
talk stocks. Yes,
When that
indeed.
happens, some losers say they would be better off trading right on the exchange floor without any delay for data transmission.
I don't even want to look at my portfolio.
But
I'm down big.
traders wash out in their first year. Being in the middle of the action does not do losers.
But I'll
any
make
good.
it back.
The conflicting signals.
Aziz, I'm going to
different
share the
time
link
frames of the
on
same
your
market are
channel.
one of the great puzzles in market analysis.
Matter of fact,
Like a trend on a daily chart,
yeah, Aziz, I'm going to share his link on your channel right now, Aziz. I don't know how to do it on the desktop, so I'm going to do it on my phone real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, he cooked curry veggie chunks. I'm going to put it in on your channel right now, Aziz. I appreciate your support. Aziz been on my channel when I had 100 subscribers. Very loyal. Aziz Chef. Check out his channel.
The perfect trading system doesn't exist. Boom. How do I know this? I've taken $100,000 and turned it into $5 million, 5,000% returns in only 2 years. All while minimizing.
Okay, Aziz, I just put it on your channel, your latest video. That's my brother's channel. His first video was today. All right, let me get back to this ebook. Where is it? Trading for a Living
may show up as a blip on a flat
by Alexander Elder.
Looks like a flat trading range on a daily chart.
Dr. Alexander Elder.
Trends and downtrends on an
Never,
hourly
you
chart.
said Apple carry me down this
When
week.
professionals are in doubt.
Now is the time to pick up some shares.
Amateurs focus on the short.
Pick up some more shares.
Trend lines. Charts reveal the actions of bulls and bears. Bottoms of declines show
Vital
where bears
is vital.
stopped and
Yes.
bulls regain control of the market. Peaks of
I gotta
rallies
eat
show
more
where bulls
Ital.
red out of steam and bears gain control.
I already cut out red
A
meat
line
since
connecting two
2012.
nearby bottoms shows the lowest common
I don't know. I
denominator
love
of
chicken. I
bullish
love
power.
fish. I don't know if I'm going
A
to
line
give
that
those up.
connects two nearby tops shows the lowest common denominator. of
Aziz,
power
good
of
night.
bears.
Take care. It's
Those
after
lines
4
are
a.m. by
called
you.
Trend lines.
Get some sleep.
Traders use them to identify
Very hard
trends.
worker. Aziz Chef.
When prices rally, draw an trend line across the bottoms. When prices decline, draw a downtrend line across the tops. Projecting those lines into the future helps anticipate buying and selling points. The most important feature of a trend line is its angle. It identifies the dominant market force. When a trend line points up, it shows that bulls are in control. Then it pays to buy with a protective stop below the trend line. When a trend line points down, it shows that bears are in control. Then it pays to sell short and protect your position with a stop above the trend line.
Please like the live.
Most chartists draw a trend line through extreme high and low points, but it is better to draw it through the edges of
So next week should be interesting.
Those edges show where the majority of traders
You got
have
the
reversed direction.
elections.
Technical analysis is poll taking, and poll takers want to track opinions of masses, not of a few extremists.
A couple of stores in Manhattan will be boarding up.
Areas is somewhat subjective.
They're anticipating
Out
riots.
for the temptation to slant your ruler. Panic dumping by bulls at the bottoms and panic
Halliburton.
by bears at the tops.
Let me write that down. I gotta look into
Which
that.
appear as long tail.
That's that oil play.
You want to base your trend lines on
Oil
the
is very
edges of
weak.
congestion areas and not on tails, because
Oil
tails
has
show
been
little
weak
about
this
the
year.
crowd other than its tendency to panic.
No rally in
The
sight.
extreme points are very important, but not for drawing trend lines. Markets usually recoil from those tails, offering opportunities to short-term
The
traders.
EV sector is hot.
A bar that looks like a finger sticking out of a tight chart pattern provides a valuable reference point for short-term traders. Markets
NIO
constantly
is hot. I remember when
seeking an
NIO
area
was
that
just
generates the
$1
highest volume
a
of
couple
trading.
of years ago.
A tail shows that a certain price
I
has
can't
been
believe
rejected by the market.
NIO is at,
It usually leads to a swing in the
I
opposite
think, 20
direction.
bucks.
As soon as you recognize a tail,
NIO.
trade against
I
it.
should start a
Place your
position.
protective stop halfway through the tail. If the market
NIO
starts
looking good.
chewing its tail, it is time to get out. The single most important feature of a trend line is its slope. When a trend line slants up, bulls are in control, and it pays to look for buying opportunities. When a trend line slants down,
Neville, I think
bears are in
Chef,
control, and it pays to look for shorting opportunities.
where he is, I don't think
You
he's
can
going to get
rate
an
the
extra sleep.
importance of any trend line by examining 5 factors.
A lot of countries, they don't turn their clocks back.
Its length, the number of times prices touch it, its angle, and volume. The longer the time frame, the more important the trend line. A trend line on a weekly chart identifies a more important trend than a daily trend line.
Getting
A
hot.
trend line on a daily chart identifies a more important trend than an hourly trend line, and so on. The longer the trend line, the more valid it is. A short trend line reflects mass behavior over a short period. A longer trend line reflects mass behavior over a longer time. The longer a trend continues, the greater its inertia. A major bull market may follow its trend line for several years. The more contacts between prices and trend line, the more valid that line. When the trend is up, a return to the trend line shows a rebellion among bears. When the trend is down, a rally to the trend line shows a rebellion by the bulls. When prices pull back to a trend line and then bounce away from it, you know that the dominant market group has beaten the rebels.
We got to work with the
A
system.
preliminary trend line is drawn across only
That's
2
all we have.
points.
We just
3 points of contact
No system
make
is
that
perfect.
line more valid. 4 or 5 points of contact show that the dominant
But without a
market crowd
system,
is
there will be
firmly in
chaos.
control. The angle between a trend line
So we
and
just
the
got to work
horizontal
with the
axis
system.
reflects the emotional intensity of the dominant market crowd.
No system
A
is
steep
perfect.
trend line shows that the dominant crowd is moving rapidly. A relatively flat trend line shows that the dominant crowd is moving slowly. A shallow trend line is likely to last longer, like a turtle racing against a hare. It pays to measure the angle of every trend line and write it down on your chart. This can be done using a computer.
So what do you like about Halliburton,
Or a
Neville?
Chinese charting tool. comparing angles of trend lines shows whether the dominant market crowd is becoming more bullish or bearish. It is uncanny how often trend lines trace the same angle time and again in a given market. It may be because the key players seldom change. Sometimes prices accelerate away from their
Didn't
trend.
Halliburton stole some
Then
oil
you
fields
draw
in
a
Iraq?
steeper trend line. It shows that a trend is speeding up, becoming unsustainable. When you draw a new steeper trend line,
After the
tighten your
9/11
stop,
attacks, they
place it
went into
immediately below the latest trend line, and adjust
Iraq
that
and took
stop
possession
every
of some
draw.
oil wells.
The
Halliburton.
breaking of a steep trend line is usually followed by a
But
sharp
don't quote me on
reversal.
that.
When the trend is up,
Chinese
volume normally
stocks moving
expands
forward.
when prices rally and shrinks.
I would
when
wait
they
until
decline.
Trump is out of the office,
This
if
shows
he's
that
out there.
rallies attract traders while declines leave them cold. The opposite occurs.
Right
in
now,
down
Chinese,
trends.
they're
Volume
against the
expands
Chinese
on
companies right
declines
now.
and shrinks on rallies. A pullback on heavy volume threatens a trend line because it shows that the
Wait
rebellious
until
crowd
January.
is growing. If volume expands,
If
and
we get a
prices
new
move in
president.
the direction of a trend line, it confirms that trend line. If volume shrinks when prices pull back to a trend line, it also confirms the
Because
trend
nothing
line.
surprised me anymore.
If
I've
volume
seen it all.
expands when prices return to a trend line, it warns of a potential break. If volume shrinks when prices pull away from a trend line, it warns that the trend line is in danger. The breaking of a well-established trend line shows that the dominant market crowd has lost its power. You have to be careful not to anticipate trading signals.
Those Chinese
Traders
stocks are
lose money when they
scamish.
jump the gun. A
They're
trend
riddled
line
with
is
fraud.
not a glass floor.
The latest one was Lufkin Coffee.
One crack and it is gone.
Be careful with these Chinese plays, in and out.
Bulls or bears can lean on. They can even violate it a bit without toppling it, the way animals shake a fence. A trend line break is valid only if prices close on the other side of a trend line. Some traders insist that a trend line has to be penetrated by 2 or 3 percentage points of price. After a very steep uptrend is broken, prices often rally again, retest their old high, and touch their old uptrend line from below. When that happens, you have a near-perfect shorting opportunity. A combination of a double top, a pullback to an old trend line, and perhaps a bearish divergence from technical indicators. The reverse also applies to downtrends. The neglected essentials. Volume. Volume represents the
big
activity
money
of
rules.
traders and investors.
You
Each
gotta
unit
follow
of
the
volume
big
in the
money.
market reflects the action of 2 persons.
Big
One
money,
trader sells
smart
a share
money,
and another buys a share, or
whatever
one
you want
buys
to
a
call it.
contract and another sells
You
a
gotta
contract.
follow that.
Daily volume is the number of contracts or shares traded in one day. Traders usually plot volume as a histogram, vertical bars whose height reflects each day's volume. They usually draw it underneath prices.
Remember, this game is
Changes
rigged.
in volume show how bulls and
This
bears
game is
react to
rigged.
price
You just
swings.
gotta follow the trend
Changes in
and
volume provide
don't fight the
clues as to
trend.
whether trends are likely to continue or to reverse.
It's not about if you're right or
Some
wrong.
traders
It's about if
ignore
you're making
volume.
money.
They think the prices already reflect all information known to the market. They say, you get paid on price and not on volume. Professionals, on the other hand, know that analyzing volume can help them understand markets deeper and trade better. There are 3 ways to measure volume. 1,
If you could
the
steal
actual
oil
number of shares
fields,
or
you can
contracts
steal
traded.
a lot more.
For example, the New
But
York
where does
Stock
the money get
Exchange reports
filtered
volume
down?
this way. This is the most objective way of measuring volume.
If you ever know what goes on in the
The number of
background
trades
of
that
these
took place.
companies
For example, the
and
London
these
Stock Exchange reports volume
government
this way.
officials,
This method is less objective because it
if
does not
you know the
distinguish between
secrets,
a
you'll be
100-share trade
surprised.
and a 5,000 share
I'm
trade.
telling you.
3, tick volume is the number
Pay
of price
attention.
changes during a selected time, such as 10 minutes or an hour. It is called tick volume
Mr.
because most
Chin.
changes
Yep.
equal 1 tick.
Pay
Most
attention.
futures exchanges in the United States do not report intraday volume, and day traders use tick volume as its proxy. Volume reflects the degree of financial and emotional involvement, as well as pain of market participants. A trade begins with a financial by two persons.
Thanks for all the likes so far.
Buy or sell may be rational, but the act of buying or selling creates an emotional commitment in most
20 more minutes on the live.
Buyers and sellers crave to be right. They scream at the market, pray, or use lucky talismans. Volume reflects the degree of emotional involvement among traders.
This ebook is called
Each tick takes
Trading for a Living. Trading for a Living by Dr. Alexander Elder.
When prices fall, shorts gain and longs lose.
I don't know if you can
Winners
see
feel
that.
happy and elated, while losers feel depressed and angry. Whenever prices move, about half the traders are hurting. When prices rise, bears are in pain, and when prices fall, bulls suffer. The greater the increase,
Let it put you to bed at night. These ebooks,
in the market.
tons of
You can lose
information.
a great deal of money in a sleepy market, such as corn, where a 1-cent move costs only $50. If corn goes against you just a few cents a day, the pain is easy to tolerate. If you hang on, those pennies can add up to thousands of dollars in losses. Sharp moves, on the other hand, make losers cut their losses in a panic. Once weak hands get shaken out, the market is ready to reverse. Trends can last for a long time on moderate volume, but can expire.
Fernie in the
after a
building.
burst of
Welcome,
volume.
Fernie.
Who buys from a trader
It's going great,
sells
Fernie.
his losing long position?
Well,
It
the
may be
market's
a
not
short
going
seller
great.
taking profits and covering shorts. It may be a bargain
Heck of a
who
week.
steps in because prices are too low.
Let's see what next week
That
brings.
bottom picker assumes the position of a loser who
Make
washed
sure you
out.
fasten your
He either
seatbelts.
catches the bottom or becomes the new loser.
Look out for buying
So,
opportunities,
the
I'm
trader who
telling you.
tries to cover his losing short position. It may be a savvy investor who takes profits on his long position. Also, maybe a top picker who sells short because
That's
he thinks
right.
that prices are
Don't
too
go
high.
against the grain.
He assumes the position of a loser who covered his
Don't
shorts.
fight the
and only
trend.
the future will tell whether he is right or wrong. When shorts give up during a rally, they buy to cover and push the market higher. Prices rise, flush out even more shorts, and the rally
Yeah,
feeds
it's
on
struggling.
itself. When longs give up during a decline, they sell and push the market lower. Falling prices flush out even more longs, and the decline feeds on itself. Losers who give up propel trends.
I was happy the
A
market
trend
closed
that
green
moves on steady
Thursday.
volume is likely to continue. Steady volume shows that new losers replace those who wash out. Trends
It was
need
four
a fresh
down-
supply of losers, the way builders of
Four
ancient pyramids
consecutive down
needed a
days,
fresh supply of slaves.
except for Thursday.
Falling volume shows that the supply of losers
And
is
then it went
running
down
low,
again
and the
Friday.
trend is ready to reverse.
The Dow made a big
It happens
rally
after
late
enough losers
afternoon.
catch on to how wrong they are.
That's very important to
Losers
note.
keep bailing out, but fewer new
Let's see
losers
what
come
Monday
in.
brings.
Falling volume gives a sign that the trend is about to reverse. A burst of extremely high volume also gives a signal that a trend is nearing its end.
Yeah, the
It shows
EV
that
sector
masses of losers are
is on
bailing out.
fire.
You can probably recall holding a
For the
losing
last 6
trade
months.
longer than you should have. Once the pain becomes intolerable and you get out, the trend
We got
reverses.
Tesla,
and the
we
market
have
goes the way you expect.
NIO.
But without you.
NIO, I've been watching NIO since $1. I can't believe I just sit back and watch that thing went to. Where's NIO now? At $20 or something?
They close out
$20 something
trades fast and reverse or wait on the sidelines, ready to re-enter. Volume usually stays low in trading ranges because there is relatively little pain.
Neville, I appreciate
Comfortable with
you.
Small price changes and trendless markets seem to drag on.
Yeah, we got to share the knowledge.
A breakout is often marked by a dramatic.
Everything on this channel is free.
Losers run for the exits. A breakout on low
A subscriber got me a couple of
commitment to a new trend.
Magnum
Indicates that
wine.
prices are likely to return into their trading range. Rising volume. during
All
rally
information
shows that
is
more
free
buyers
around
and
here.
short sellers
I am not
are
selling any
Buyers are
program.
eager
I'm
to
not
buy
selling
even if they
anything.
have to pay up, and shorts are eager to sell.
Free information.
Rising volume shows,
And I learned from you as well.
Are being replaced by
We're going to learn together.
losers. When volume
NIO is at
shrinks
30.
in a rally, it shows
What?
that bulls are becoming less eager, while bears are no longer running.
I got to wait for a pullback. I'm going to get into NIO.
Left long ago, followed by weak bears who could not take the pain.
Man. 3,000% late.
Shows that fuel is being removed from the
3,000% later.
To reverse. When volume dries up during a decline, it shows that bears are less eager to sell short, while bulls are no longer running for the exits. The intelligent bull sold long ago, and the weak bulls.
I think because I was so skeptic of the Chinese companies, man. I don't trust them.
Perhaps they have deeper pockets.
That's why I didn't buy NIO, the Chinese. They're riddled with fraud.
Volume identifies an
You saw what happened to Lufkin.
Is likely to reverse. This reasoning applies to
Lufkin Coffee.
Time frames. As a rule of thumb, if today's volume is higher than yesterday's volume, then today's trend is likely to continue.
You still holding on to KNDI? I'm gonna make a note of that. I gotta look into KNDI.
Well, what is low for gold is high for platinum, and so on.
For a long, I know it's in and out. KNDI in and out.
At least 25% above average for the past 2 weeks.
KNDI.
At least 25% below average.
I gotta check that out.
1. High volume confirms trends. If prices rise to a new peak and volume reaches a new high, then prices are likely to retest or exceed that peak. 2. If the market
I saw some of their vehicles.
and the
beautiful.
volume reaches a new high, that bottom is likely to be retested or exceeded. A climax bottom.
I just don't trust the Chinese and their numbers.
On low volume, offering
they keep doing the same thing over and over, fudging the numbers.
3. If volume shrinks while a trend continues, that trend is ripe for a reversal. When a market rises to a new peak on lower volume than its previous peak, look for a shorting opportunity. This technique does not work as well at market bottoms because a decline can persist on low volume.
A few years ago, it was
There's a saying on Wall Street.
It was at $1.30 or something.
To put stocks up, but they can fall.
I can't believe I watched that thing went from $1 to $30.
Watch volume during reactions against the trend. When an uptrend
is it too late to get into NIO?
Volume often picks up in a flurry of profit taking. When the dip continues but volume shrinks, it shows that bulls are no longer running or that selling pressure is spent. When volume dries up, it shows that the reaction is nearing an end and the uptrend is ready to resume. This identifies a good buying opportunity. Major downtrends are often punctuated by rallies which begin on heavy volume.
Don't sleep on Tesla, I'm telling you.
Out, volume shrinks and gives a signal to
Tesla is full of surprises, I'm telling you. Elon Musk.
Open interest
is a genius.
The number of contracts held by buyers or owed by short sellers in a given market on a given day. It shows the number of existing contracts.
Tesla below 400 is a steal.
A total long or a total short position. Stock market shares are traded.
I'll be adding again on Monday.
Business as a separate unit.
I'll be adding more.
Futures and options traders, on the other hand,
more Tesla right now.
Contracts for a future delivery that expire at a set time. A futures or options buyer who wants to accept delivery and a seller who wants to deliver have to wait until the first notice day. This waiting period ensures that the numbers of contracts that are long and short are always equal. In any case, very few futures and options traders plan to deliver or to accept delivery.
Game grows in the building.
Close out their positions before the first notice day.
If you don't trade right, you're not rolling right. Big up. Love to Dave Natch. Big up yourself. Game grows. Game
rises only when a new buyer and a new seller enter the market. Their trade.
Welcome. Game grows in the building. Please like the live. I appreciate you, Game Grows.
When both of them close out their positions, Open interest falls by one contract because one contract disappears.
Never said a day late and a dollar short.
An old bull who is getting out of his long position.
Listen, sometimes you could be late to the party and still enjoy the
Open
party.
interest also does not change when a new bear sells to
NIO might be going to $100. You never know.
It takes one bull and one bear to create.
You have to buy a old Lada car. You remember those cars? Lada.
Convinced that prices are going higher. A bear sells short a contract if he is convinced that prices are going lower.
If you're not rolling right, you're not trading right.
Interest rises by one contract. A single trade between one bull and one bear is unlikely.
I haven't been trading right for the last couple of weeks.
Traders make their trades. They propel or reverse market trends.
I got busy. I couldn't focus too much on trading.
The intensity of conflict between bulls and bears. It reflects
I know exactly what happened.
To maintain long positions and the willingness of shorts
and I'm going to fix that.
Positions. When bulls and bears do not
I got to come up with a new strategy
favor, they close out their positions
for my schedule right now.
There are two people on opposite sides of every
I know
trade.
Exactly what happened.
One of them gets hurt when prices change. Prices rally, bears get hurt. If prices fall, bulls get hurt. As long as the losers hope, they hang on.
I just hope this election goes smoothly.
A rise in open
Whoever, if Mr. Trump loses, just concede. Concede gracefully.
Points to a growing disagreement between
we don't want any riots. We don't want any wars.
But as long as potential losers keep pouring in,
because that's not good for the market.
These ideas have been clearly put forth in L.D. Belleville's
we don't want any uncertainties.
Commodity market price behavior.
We're already dealing with Big C right now.
Adding to their positions as long as they strongly disagree about the future course of prices. It takes conviction and disagreement to maintain a trend. Rising open interest shows that
Big C cases are increasing again.
And the current trend is likely to persist. If
that's not a good look.
Increases during an uptrend, it shows that longs are buying while bears are shorting because they believe that
they're going to be
high. They are likely to run for cover. When
cutting back on some of the businesses like restaurants.
Will propel prices
going to be more working from home.
If open interest rises during a downtrend,
Zoom is a good buying opportunity right now.
Are buying. Those bargain hunters are
I think in the last 2 days they were down
hurt them, and they're selling
6% or so.
Lower.
Zoom.
An increase in open interest gives a green light.
I made some nice money in Zoom.
When a bull is convinced that prices are going higher and decides to
if it pull back some more, I'll be adding Zoom.
That bull can buy only from another bull who bought earlier and now wants to get out. Their trade creates no new contract, and open interest stays unchanged. When open interest stays flat during a rally, it shows that the supply of losers has stopped growing. When a bear is convinced that prices are going lower, he wants to sell short. If a bull is afraid to buy from him, that bear can only sell to another bear who shorted earlier and now wants to cover and leave. Their trade creates no new contract, and open interest does not change. When open interest stays flat during a decline, it shows that the supply of bottom pickers is not growing. Whenever open
TRVN
out, it flashes a yellow light, a warning that the trend.
TRVN made a big move about a month ago or 6 weeks ago.
Falling open interest shows that losers are bailing out while winners are taking
But
profits.
It faded. TRVN.
When their disagreement decreases, the trend is ripe for a reversal. Open interest falls when losers abandon hope and get out of
TRVN. Let me write that down. Let me see what's happening.
When a bull decides to
with
get out
TRVN
of his
lately.
and a bear decides to cover his short position, the two may trade with one another. When they do, a contract disappears and open interest shrinks by one contract. Falling open interest shows that winners are cashing in and losers are giving up hope.
Shout out to that subscriber who tipped me off on TRVN before news broke.
Time. Most people conduct their
I
lives
started a
as if they
position
intend to
in the
live
AH and
forever.
sold in the
With no
pre-market.
review of the past, no real planning for the future.
But that
And
day,
no learning from past
it didn't
mistakes.
continue. Most of the
Crowds
action
show
was
that the
exhausted.
unconscious
TRVN,
mind
when
does
they
not
came
have a
out with that
notion
big
of
news.
time. Our deep-seated wishes remain largely unchanged throughout life. When people join crowds, their behavior becomes even more primitive and impulsive than when they are alone. Crowds pay no attention to time even though they are affected by its passage. Individuals are ruled by the calendar and the clock, but crowds have no notion of time. Crowds act out their emotions.
Never, you leave the party when the music stops.
Most traders focus only on changes in prices and pay little attention to time. This is just another sign of being caught up in mass mentality. The awareness of time is a sign of civilization. A thinking person is aware of time, while someone who is acting impulsively is not. A market analyst who pays attention to time is aware of a dimension hidden from the market crowd. Long-term price cycles are a fact of economic life.
10 minutes to go.
The U.S. stock
I appreciate everyone who tuned in.
They exist because the
Appreciate all the likes.
the economy going into the presidential
Big up to
election
Fernie,
once
Neville,
every 4 years.
Douglas in the
The party that
building.
wins the election deflates the economy when voters cannot take
Welcome,
revenge
Douglas,
at the polls.
in the building.
Flooding the economy
I
with
appreciate you.
liquidity lifts the stock market, and draining liquidity pushes it down. This is why the 2 years before a presidential election tend to be bullish, and the first 12 to 18 months following an election tend to be bearish.
Yeah, NIO is
Major
hot.
cycles in agricultural commodities are due
Douglas,
to fundamental
NIO is on
production
fire.
factors coupled with the mass psychology.
A few years ago, I saw that stock
For
at
example,
one,
when livestock
I think
prices
130
rise, farmers breed more animals.
NIO, and
When
it's
those
been
animals
going up.
reach the market, prices fall and producers cut back.
But I'm always skeptical of the
supply is
Chinese. I'm
absorbed,
telling you.
Scarcity pushes prices up, breeders go to work again, and the bull-bear cycle repeats. This cycle is shorter in hogs.
Fernie, you're
than in
holding
cattle because pigs breed
CRSR
cows.
for the long
Long-term
haul.
cycles can help traders identify market
All right,
trends.
I'm writing that
Instead,
down. I'm going to
Most
research
traders
that.
get themselves in trouble by trying to use short-term cycles for
CRSR.
precision timing and predicting minor turning points. Price peaks and
So I'm going to be
valleys on the
checking out
chart often seem to
CRSR,
follow in an orderly manner.
TRVN,
Traders reach for a pencil and a ruler,
KNDI,
measure distances between neighboring peaks, and
HAL,
project into the
Halliburton,
future to forecast the next top.
and NIO.
Then
I'll
they
be
measure
buying
distances
NIO.
between recent bottoms and extend
I'm not
them
going to
into the
sit
future
back and watch
to
this thing
forecast
keep
the
going up,
next low.
up and up
Cycles
and
put
up.
bread and butter on the tables of several experts who sell services
NIO, I'll be
forecasting
starting a
highs and
position on a
lows.
pullback.
Few of them realize that what appears like a cycle on the charts is often a figment of the imagination.
You just got to go with
If
the
you
trend.
analyze price data
Don't fight
using
the
a
trend.
mathematically rigorous program,
The trend is your
you will
friend
see that
until it
approximately
bends.
80% of what appears like cycles is simply market noise. A human mind needs to find order in chaos, and an illusion of order is better than no order for most people. If you look at any river from the air, it appears to have cycles, swinging right and left. Every river meanders in its valley because water flows
Never.
faster
FDA
in the middle
approval.
than near the shores, creating turbulences that force the
FDA
river to
approval
turn.
is always good.
Looking for market cycles with a ruler and a pencil is like searching for water with a divining rod. Profits from an occasional success
Fernie,
are
you said the
erased by
company
many
is called
losses due to unsound metals.
Corsair
If you're
Gaming.
serious about trading with cycles,
Okay.
you need a mathematical method for finding them. A farmer
CRSR.
sows in spring, harvests in late summer, and uses the fall to get ready for winter. There is a time to sow and a time to reap, a time to bet on a warm trend, and a time to get ready for
So in the after hours on Friday, we have
seasons
LRN,
can be applied to
LRN
financial markets. A
up
trader can use a
28%
farmer's approach.
at
He should
30
look
bucks.
to buy in spring, sell in summer,
Earnings
short in the
exceed
fall, and
expectation.
cover in winter.
LRN.
Just as a farmer pays attention
And
to
what
the
did I
vagaries
say
of
is the
weather,
biggest driver
a
of a
trader needs
stock?
to pay attention to the vagaries of the markets.
Earnings.
An autumn on the farm can be interrupted by an Indian summer, and a market can stage a strong rally in autumn. A sudden freeze can hit the fields in spring.
Also, FDA
and the market
approval,
can
very
drop
important.
early in a bull move. A trader needs
Those
to use
two-
his judgment and apply
Those two
several
catalysts will
indicators
drive a
and
stock
techniques to avoid getting
to the moon.
whipsawed. The concept of indicator seasons focuses a trader's attention on the passage of time in the market. It helps you plan for the season ahead instead of jumping in response to other people's actions. Psychological indicators. Many private traders keep their market opinions to themselves, but financial journalists and market letter writers spew them forth like open fire hydrants. Some writers are very bright, but both groups as a whole have poor trading records. Financial journalists and letter writers overstay important trends and miss major turning points. When these groups become bullish or bearish, it pays to trade against them. The behavior of groups is more primitive than individual behavior. Consensus indicators, also known as contrary opinion indicators, are not as exact as trend-following indicators or oscillators. They simply draw your attention to the fact that a trend is ready to reverse. When you get that message, use technical indicators for more precise timing. As long as the market crowd remains in conflict, the trend can continue. When the crowd reaches a strong consensus, the trend is ready to reverse. When the crowd becomes highly bullish, it pays to get ready to sell. When the crowd
Don't forget to
becomes
turn the
strongly
hands of
bearish,
time
it pays
behind,
to
1
get
hour
ready to
behind.
buy. The reason for trading against the extremes and consensus
If you're in the
is
United
rooted in
States
the
of
structure
America.
the futures markets. The number of
So
contracts
you'll get an
bought
extra
long
hour
and sold
sleep
short is always
tonight.
equal. For example, if open interest in gold is 12,000 contracts, then 12,000 contracts are long and 12,000 contracts are short. While the number of long and short contracts is always equal, the number of individuals who hold them keeps changing. If the majority is bullish, then the minority, those who are short, has more contracts per person than the longs. If the majority is bearish, then the bullish minority has bigger positions per person. If bullish consensus equals 50%, then 50% of traders are long and 50% are short. An average trader who is long holds as many contracts as an average trader who is short. When bullish consensus reaches 80%, it shows that 80% of traders are long and 20% are short. Since the sizes of total long and total short positions are always equal, an average bear is short 4 times as many contracts as are held long by an average bull. This means that an average bear has 4 times more money than an average bull. The big money is on the short side of the market. When bullish consensus
Also,
falls to 20%,
ISIG in the after hours, they're up 24%.
Since the numbers of long and short
ISIG.
contracts are always equal,
And
an
they're at a
average
key
bull
level.
holds
They're at
4
a dollar.
times more contracts
103,
than are held by an
103.
average bear. It shows that big money
ISIG.
is on the long side of the market.
Look out
Big
for
money did
my
not grow big by being stupid.
stock list
Big
tomorrow.
traders tend to be more knowledgeable and
Look
successful
out for my
than
stock
average.
list video
Otherwise,
tomorrow.
they stop being big traders. When big money gravitates to one side of the
Please
market,
set your notification.
think of trading in that direction. To interpret bullish consensus in any market, obtain at least 12 months of historical data on consensus and note the levels at which the market has turned in the past. Update these levels once every 3 months. The next time the market consensus becomes highly bullish, look for an opportunity to
Look
sell
out for
short
Amazon below 3,000. Amazon
when the
below
consensus becomes
3,000.
very bearish, look for a buying
That is a
opportunity.
buying opportunity.
Advisory opinion sometimes begins to
Also,
change a week
Apple.
or 2 in advance. of
Apple below
major
100
trend
is a buying
reversals.
opportunity.
If bullish consensus ticks down
That's a
from
no-brainer.
78 to 76, or if it rises
Tesla
from 25
below
to 27,
400
It shows
buying
savvy
opportunity.
advisors are abandoning what looks like a winning trend.
I'm telling you.
This means that the trend is ready to reverse. Several government agencies and exchanges collect data on buying and selling by several groups of investors and traders. They publish summary reports of
Very
actual
important
trades,
week ahead.
commitments of money, as well as ego.
You've got the
It
elections.
pays to trade with those groups that have a track record of success and bet against those with poor track records. For example, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, reports long and short
Who remember what the
hedgers
market
and
did
big
when Mr.
speculators.
Trump won the election?
Hedgers, the commercial
Who remember the
producers and consumers
futures?
of commodities, are the most successful
The
participants
futures
in
spiked
the
some
Securities
ridiculous
and Exchange
amount.
Commission, SEC, reports
I don't
purchases
know.
and sales by corporate insiders.
All I know, I
Officers of
couldn't
publicly
sleep that
traded
night.
Companies know when to buy or sell their company
But it was good for the
shares.
markets.
The New York Stock Exchange reports the number of shares bought, sold, and
Let's see what
shorted by
happened
its members and by
this week.
odd-lot traders. Members are more successful than small-time speculators.
I'm about to
Traders
end the
must report their
live.
positions
Shout
to
out to
the
Neville
CFTC after they reach certain
for
levels,
tuning in.
called
Neville,
reporting levels.
appreciate you.
At the time of
Fernie,
writing, if you are long or
big
short
ups to
100
Fernie.
contracts of
Big ups to
gold,
Douglas.
300
Douglas, I
contracts of the
appreciate you.
S&P 500 futures,
Aziz Chef,
CFTC classifies you as a big speculator. Brokers
big up to
send
Game
reports on
Grows
positions that
Game.
reach reporting levels to the CFTC. It compiles them.
Game
and
Grows
releases
Game. I
summaries
appreciate you
once
tuning
every
in.
weeks. The CFTC also sets up the maximum number
Make
of
your next
contracts
trade
called
your best
position
trade.
limits that a speculator is allowed to hold in any given market. At this time, a speculator may not be net long or short more than 2,400 contracts of corn or 500 contracts of the S&P 500 futures. These limits are set to prevent very large speculators from accumulating.
Look out for my Sunday stock list tomorrow. I don't know. It's been a horrible week for me. Let's see what next week brings. All right. Trying to find my outro.
Out around the grass green, ice cream, Dave Natch.
Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you when I see you.
Join your team, they get rich. Everybody chill. So what I mean to the world? Got a lot of money invested in a day. Every day, you want your money at? Subscribe to Dave Natch. Foot flow gas. Got a lot of money invested in a day. Every day, you want your money at? Subscribe to Dave Natch. Foot flow gas. Done money, done car meal. Done steering. Done meal. Legal money, I'm not just steal. KFC. Big deal, so green sleeve, contract side, done deal. Money a pool like gasoline, full ocean, river stream. Attach a case to the ground, western, money up in a money ground. Money too, nothing holding our hand. Some yard, got the money where we have. After we no money food, buy a condom with swimming pool. Around with heavy ash rule, to learn this before high school. Got a lot of money, let's be that day. Every day, you want your money at, so crack to the match. For the gas, got a lot of money invested in a day play. Every day, you want your money at, so crack to the match. For the gas, rich.
Courtesy of DJ Concrete Face. Let's go to Jingle King. Danny B, Jingle King.
Right now it's time to be the Jingle King. I hear me talk about Jingle King and don't know me mean. Jingle King. You hear me now? Me have a little money and me go invest in a Davesplay. Right away, me not itch. You understand? Go on the money. Go on. We don't want to glitch. You see me I said? Yeah, so you know, invest in that Davesplay right away. Dave Notch, we not stop. We are invest some money. Good thing, no joke thing, real thing. Get your money multiply and plus, no minus. Davesplay right away. Invest your money in a Davesplay. That be at the Jingle King. I tell you, you hear me? Get your money stash up together, wrap up together. Davesplay every day.
You want this concrete face back up on the scene. You brand come on. Alexander McQueen. Spend money on yourself, not me. See? Jamaica. So what I mean? We were. Yes, my friend. You want your style shot? Go check the feet. Yes, my friend. Got a lot of money in that project. Yes, my friend. Close up the chain, move brothers at the market. But you should show up. Don't money, don't come here. Don't steal it. Won't wait it. Leave out for the yellow truck steal. Can't see. Big deal. So, crazy. Catch outside. Don't deal. Money up full like gasoline. Full motion. We pass through. Attach a piece on the down. Whisper you that we don't want it down. Want it to be left for what we know we are. So we are. Got the money where we are. I'm coming on the fool by a condom with swimming pool. I don't give everything cash food. We learned this before high school. Got a lot of money in university, my project. Yes, my friend. Do I use that shot? Project fees, yes, my friend. Got a lot of money in university, my project. Yes, my friend. Close up the chain, move right at the market. Man, you show rich. Get out of my house. Get out of my Just top on me iPhone. Everything you send me with a my own. Money's that. Safe in a my own. Rich. Yeah, man. This is Danny. This is Danny be the Jingle King. Have a little argument for Gono. Have a little argument for Gono. But you know, I find myself with that money. And instead of squander it and go on with foolishness and go along with it, I just go invest my money in our Davesplay city instead of hide it. See my wallet here, me I go just invest my money right away in a Davesplay every day and any day. Invest your money in a Davesplay and you are not. If you want your money, ash, as we them say, and get wagga and enough and plus. You want your money, ash? Subscribe to Dave Natch. Please, me I tell you, go on, go make the money now, please. Yeah, man, I want to do it fast and quick here. Subscribe to Dave Natch. Fast, don't stop. Every day, you want the money, go check Davesplay. Invest. Interest. Bless.
cooking channel, y'all. I'm super excited. This is Kurt's Cuisine. Today I'll be featuring a curry veggie chunks. If you're not sure what veggie chunks are, they are basically a soy base. And as you can see, it looks a little bit like croutons. But what you would need to do is you need to soak those in water for about 20 to 30 minutes. They expand in size, so a whole packet is a lot. So it might not look a lot in the packet, but once those things soak up that water, they expand, double the size, okay? The curry that I'll be using the original Jamaican curry from my homeland, all right? There are many curries out there that you can use. I would advise you try different curries, but today I'm using Jamaican curry.
Concrete face and teeth, step smart and me. Happy. Time. Now is the time. Get up, get up. My time. Time's up. Dreams on. Forget it. Time's on. Dreams on. Get it. Just up on me iPhone. Everything you see me with a my own. What is that? Safe in a my own. Rich. To me ears. But she said, me no ear. Keep talking at me ears. But she said, put the money out then, bring up. You want the man, but him a fear about income. To me ears. But she said, me no ear. Keep talking at me ears. But she said, put the concrete fence and empty, so what I mean, clean on the road, the grass green. I got to get it in, Jamaican. Got a lot of money invested in our street. Stock market, God of fish, so me get it every yard. Stock market, got a lot of money invested in our street. Stock market. God, I'm so me get it in the heart. Stop market, turn money, turn calm hill. Legal money and no drug deal. McDonald, big deal. Signature sign, don't deal. Money a pour like gasoline. Concrete flex, and empty. So what I mean, clean. Out the road, the grass green. I got to get it in. Jamaican. Got a lot of money invested in a wall street. Stock market. God, I fish up so me get it every yard. Stock market. Got a lot of money invested in a wall street. Stock market. God, I fish up so me get it every yard. Stock market. Turn money, turn calm hill. Legal money and no drug deal. McDonald, big deal. Signature sign, don't deal. The very first time I kissed my eyes with you. So
took up your food with the rat pies now.
Morning, everybody. So today is Sunday. So here I want to tell you, a stranger is more likely to support you because they see your potential, while somebody closest people to you won't support you because they see you as competition. Question of the day. If after 18 years a man finds out that a child isn't his, should he stay? Seriously, how should I let my child for me? As a matter of fact, don't worry about it. Nah, let me bed.
Different. It's different. I just got a check in the mail for 41 cents. To tell y'all something. When you see me, don't talk to me, don't even look me in the eye. Henceforth, peasants. Yo, I just got a check in the mail for 41 cents.
Don't be upset at Lil Wayne for endorsing Donald Trump or supporting what you know. No, that's not. I don't know why y'all surprised. They got the same barber. Look, if you really assess the situation, it makes all the sense in the world. It really does. Look at the hair. I used to listen to Lil Wayne music. I ain't got no problem with Lil Wayne. I can say what I want. Lil Wayne don't need me. He don't need me at all. We don't need each other for no type of survival. Lil Wayne drink cough syrup as a beverage. Y'all have to, and that's his choice. He a grown man. I ain't mad at him for that, but this is what I want y'all to stop doing. Stop. When any rapper tell you that they drink cough syrup, pop Molly, and do all that other kind of stuff, why y'all expect logical decisions to come out of this? Then when somebody shove a camera in their mouth and ask them about a social issue or something important, why y'all expect them to say something profound? Why? They're not going to. He done made 17 albums telling you that he drink cough syrup. I don't drink cough syrup. Nobody drink, unless you got a cough, unless you sick, you drink cough. But if you drink cough syrup and pop pills and do all that, smoke weed all the time, why do y'all expect people to make profound decisions and say something prolific? Why? Let it go. Let it go.
All I see is two rich people with roadkill on their head. That's all I see. One black, one white, one tall, one short. So what? We don't need Lil Wayne to be a politician. Just rap. That's it. I can see if it was LeBron James. That's different. LeBron James don't drink cough syrup. Lil Wayne, I am not mad at Lil Wayne at all. Not upset with him at all. Do what you want to do, sir, Mr. Carter. Let it go, people. Let it go. I'm mad at y'all. Change the standards, man. I can't promise you no Perkins, but look at that castle rice. Look at that macaroni and cheese. Jessica, do not test me. Jessica, do not test me. If you put down that water, I'm going to fuck up your whole bathroom. I'm going to fuck your place up. 255,000. 5 to 1. There. 1 level. 2.
Where is everybody? They want everybody to quarantine. I do not have nowhere else to go. Could I stay in your home? Oh, wait a Why you wear a mask?
The virus.
There's fake news.
Okay.
Sorry, my daughter escaped from the crate and followed me. Teenagers. Yeah. Where is everybody? They want everybody to quarantine. I do not have nowhere.
Yeah. Oh my God, I that was
So much things I did not say, and I'm bored more that things they take. We can do it on that weekend.
You see, I don't mean that you're true, girl. Don't be nice with me, come in that you're true, girl.
What's up with you?
See how easy that was? Alright, let's start.
Excuse the way I look right now, but I need to talk about something. I was just casually doing my nightly scroll on TikTok, and I scrolled past the most beautiful woman I've laid my eyes on. Y'all gotta see who. God. Like, why is she so damn beautiful? Like, what the fuck? Delicious, immaculate, chef's kiss. If you see this, ma'am, if you see this, I really hope this doesn't sound weird. I'm just trying. I love to.
Yeah, Mr. Officer, what happened? We got a phone call that you're trying to steal his vehicle. No, that bullshit. They lied to you. I discovered this guy. I'm discovering this guy. This gentleman right here is telling me. I went inside to get some water. I left my car out here in front of my driveway. And you good, Chad. You lied. There's no you got no more. I discovered it. You lying. So you can't discover a car. What do you mean? It's here. It's open. I get inside. I discovered the guy. It's my guy now.
Today we have a spell to beat, and it big took me off the second round because I know how to spell juke. Like, bitch, I'm 6 years old. Does it look like I know how to spell juke? Today we have a spell to beat, and it big took me off the second round because I know how to spell juke. Like, bitch, I'm 6 years old. Does it look like I know how to spell juke?
Yeah, you know I like that sticky. That's right.
You guys are great. You all were able to tell me yesterday after I posted giving my age and the fact that I'm single, my Tinder-esque review, that there are different categories of single. I need to be schooled. I only know. You guys are great. You all were able to tell me.
I want to have one of these machismo sticks.
She must have been me fine.
Oh, you're not that big. You're just thick.
I just think not bad, right?
Yeah.
You still love me if I think, right?
If you eat that machismo tico.
She must think or you will love me.
Yes.
No comment on that, girl. I just think they know as well.
I want to have one of these machismo sticks.
Oh,
Soup.
yes, I want to cook the baby octopus soup for a child. No candy, because too much sugar.
Are you serious? What if they go get sick from that? What kind of soup is that?
You know, it's true what they say. Behind every great man is a strong woman.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I never stood behind a man.
Slim thick, she my drug, she my fix. And I'm all up in her mix. She be mixing with the rich. She the.
You know, it's true what they
Hey, Bree, I got a question. Okay, how many likes on this video for you to do the lap dance?
No.
Bree, give me a number.